Welcome to Teal House Farm. I'm eating a cookie.
Hello.
Sam's reading some paperwork.
I am.
Looks
Does
weird.
Look good. It does look a little weird. I don't know if it's tilted. I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Welcome. Get the ad here so we can get started. Bye, ad. And we're on. Welcome. Aunt Holly is here. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
We are enjoying it was a very nice day today. It was warm. It was almost too hot. I was mowing the lawn today. I had to stop and take breaks because it was really hot.
It is hot.
So.
It was toasty. Tomorrow's supposed to be even. The high tomorrow is 87.
87?
I think so. I think I read that right. I think it's 87. Maybe it's 82.
Wow.
Something like that.
It's going to be a hot one. All right, welcome. Well, today we're going to catch up some things that are going on. Spring is here. It always feels like we wait all this time and prepare for spring, and then it gets here, and it's like day one you're already behind, which I don't understand how that happens because we've been working so hard to be prepared, but that's just what happens. See, Homestead Nana's here. Welcome. Debbie is here from Oklahoma, and Grammy is here.
Hello.
Welcome, Grammy. We're working out, hopefully, fingers crossed, to be able to go visit Grammy this summer. We're trying to get Annie into a summer camp that's just for kids, stroke kids, basically, just like her, in her age range, in a summer camp at the University Hospital out near where Grammy lives, the children's hospital out there. But we won't know until April 15th whether or not they accepted her. It's a scholarship-based program. They only take a handful of kids, but it's all like the program is free for the kids. It's all scholarships, which is wonderful because we looked at some programs that are closer to home for us that she could do the same thing, but they were not scholarship based, and it was $4,000 to $5,000 for 1 week of summer camp for children with her medical needs. So that is not something we can do at this point. So when I heard about this one, then it was only about 45 minutes from where Grammy lives. I thought, oh, that would be wonderful because for the cost of a couple of plane tickets, it'd be way cheaper than trying to get her to somewhere like Kansas City, even though Kansas City is much closer. So fingers crossed.
Debbie says it's hot and very dry in Oklahoma. Chris is here on time. Yay. Thanks for joining us.
And Karen is here from Massachusetts. Welcome. We usually start with a Sam update, so.
Yes. Let's see. This term's going pretty good.
It's already week 3, right?
Week 3. Yeah, we had last week. I did really well in my test, so that was good. I wasn't that confident. I'm feeling a little shaky on my preparation this week as well, but it's this term is much more chill. So I was able to do some work around the house, much needed work around the house the last couple weeks.
Yeah, if you haven't seen our Instagram or our Facebook, he kind of redid the bathroom, and it looks great.
A bit of it, anyway. So I'm really thankful about that. That schools, we're definitely feels like we're on the downhill slope of it. It doesn't feel as overwhelming, but I don't know. There's not much. This week I'm being tested on all of our all the heart, cardiovascular stuff. And for whatever reason, just from the beginning, I've always struggled a little bit with anything cardiovascular. I don't know why, because it feels like it should be pretty simple. But anyway, I feel like as far as testing wise, obviously the last week when we have finals and stuff, that's always intense. But as far as the material goes, this is probably the last hard week that I have. I have 6 chapters of the book that I'm going to be tested over. From here on out, it's like 3, maybe 4 chapters. So this will probably be the largest like material week that I have to get through. And after that, it's more projects. But I've looked at the projects a little bit in the next few weeks, and they don't seem that bad. So anyway, I think this is doable.
So let's see. Beth is here from Illinois. Welcome. Katie from Arizona. Aunt Holly says she loves the bathtub. The girls and Pat love the bathtub. Everyone's taken at least 4 baths in the 3 days we've had the bathtub. So,
it does contain the splashes a little better.
It does. They used to soak the bathroom with what we had before because it was basically just like a shower pan kind of. It was not meant to be. And but we used it like a bathtub, and they would just soak the bathroom. And this is it's a tall bathtub. The only downside is it's not very accessible for Annie. We have to lift her in and out, and right now she's only 6. That's not a problem. But long term, we'll need a better solution for her, but that's several years down the road. So this fixes problems for now, and then we can fix problems again, in 5 or 6 years. So
for sure. We got True Joy here. Did you say hi to Bonnie?
I don't know. Welcome, Bonnie
from Idaho. Yeah. So this term I'm thankful. I think if it was another really, really tough term, I would be. I don't know. The last couple terms felt like wore me out, physically and mentally. It was just a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I feel a little more relaxed this time around.
Yeah.
I feel like you're sleeping better, like you're not tossing and turning all night.
Yeah. It's so hard when, that with this program, it's been really intense. And not only did we have a lot of testing and quizzes every week, we had all kinds of paperwork we would have to turn in as well. And so, I had trouble falling asleep because I'm just thinking about the 2 papers I need to write, the quiz, and some module that I needed to fill out stuff for the next day. I'm like, okay, if I get those done, then, the day after that, I have to get, you know how it goes. I just was not sleeping very well the last few terms. This term's not quite as bad, though.
Cool. All right. So anyway, the garden is coming along. Oh my gosh, there's just so much. There's so much that goes on this time of year. It's like overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And then I feel bad because I definitely get snippy with the kids and probably with Sam a little bit because I just feel so overwhelmed with how much work you have to do. And part of the problem is your work is so dependent on the weather that when the weather doesn't cooperate and it's a day where you had set aside to do this because, we do have other responsibilities. We have Annie has appointments and the kids have activities. If we're not going anywhere on a Monday, I need Monday to get this done. And then when the weather doesn't cooperate, it just it feels like the time just runs away.
Well, you have those times in the spring where it rains for 4 days straight.
Yeah, and then you can't get out there and work.
There's not much that you can do because of that. Prep for Eternity is here. Hello.
Welcome. I do have 50% of the goat stall cleaned out. An incredible amount of labor, yes. Compost moved, weight moved. It just looks cool to be able to we can see the floor, most of the floor now. I forgot there was a floor under there, so. Mm-hmm. So that feels good. We really need to get the rest of it out, though, because we can't get new animals until it's clean. You can't put them in a dirty stall. And the weather made it tricky because it's rained so much in March, which I know is normal for March. I shouldn't complain. And it's good because we need the rain for spring plants and stuff. But gosh darn it, I got to move the manure.
It's all muddy and squishy.
It's all muddy and squishy, and you can't move the wheelbarrow because it just gets stuck. And then, so we're trying to get that cleaned out, hopefully the next couple of weeks. So... hopefully, so we can get some sheep or goats, or I don't care if it eats grass. That's what I want. The only thing I care about is I can't mow that field, and I need an animal, preferably an animal we will enjoy eating in the winter.
Yep.
Out there mowing it down for me. So because land maintenance, I think land maintenance is something I feel doesn't get talked enough about on channels, what it takes to actually maintain acreage, and I think that's probably been one of our biggest struggles is trying to maintain the land. Because you can't just let it do whatever, because then you get snakes and all sorts of things you don't want. And not even how bad it looks, but
your land just overgrows.
Then you lose your pasture if you're not knocking it down because the forest wants to come in, and so it's just it's a constant battle against Mother Nature.
Yeah, Sandy Berry is here. Hello. Our farm had kind of been abandoned for, I think it was close to 8 years before we got here. There was a lot of land clearing we had to do just to kind of get into the house almost. And yeah, trying to keep up with keeping the field knocked down. It's That's something I didn't anticipate.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Not even. I think if you had asked us, we would have said, "Oh yeah, that's something you have to do."
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we anticipated the amount of time and labor it is. Like, it sucks so much of your time away when you need to work on other things. And the problem is, I feel like everything has to be done at the same time. Like, the land can't be a problem in the middle of winter when I have time to deal with it. It's got to be a problem in the spring when I'm already so busy doing everything else.
900 other things.
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
I think if I had to do it over again, I would buy just enough open pasture in our acreage for the number of animals I thought we would have. And I guess we're kind of at that point now-ish. And then I would have the rest be wooded.
Yeah.
If I were to offer a suggestion to someone that was looking for a homestead, I think that's what I would do. Because the woods, they still do need some management, but not nearly as much as trying to keep an open pasture looking nice. Let's see. Karen says, Sam, do you feel confident now that you'll be able to be a nurse? You seem to me that you are very capable to be a great nurse. I think I will get there. I think I'll feel really good about it once I'm done with my practicum. I'm still a student and I'm still learning. I try to be confident when I'm out at clinical and such, but I think, and I probably really won't feel, from what I've heard, a lot of people don't feel like they kind of know what's going on until after they've been a nurse for maybe a year or two. Then you feel like, okay, I think I'm starting to get a feel for what's happening, and I don't want to be I don't want to try and be too overconfident, because I have seen that in the hospital when people think they know what's going on. Maybe they don't have enough experience, and sometimes if you do that, it can cause some issues. But I think once I get done with practicum, I feel like I have some feet I can stand on and be ready to learn some more at my first job, because there'll definitely be a lot of learning those first few years for sure.
Iris lady says she's got a problem with briars. We have cockleburrs.
Yeah.
Massive
really
problem. And it's taken us years. And finally you can look out at our field and it doesn't just look like a field of cockleburrs.
It's
it actually looks like grass. But it's taken us 7 years to get to that point. And
let's see. Camp Momo is
Welcome.
here.
Thanks for joining us.
Let's see. Carmen says, I've been watching Russian escapees living across the continent in other countries, and they are not allowed to work. Must move every 90 days to 6 months. Never saw that struggle before. Ooh, that is interesting. And Carmen also said you can buy abandoned farms in Bulgaria for $14,000. That's quite the deal.
Just make sure you've got $140,000 set aside for investing into whatever's going to need to be fixed. Not right now, baby.
That's very true. Yeah. With an abandoned farm, it's probably gonna need a little bit of help, but that's very interesting. And kind of sad that they have to struggle that way. Homestead Nana says our 10th great grandchild was just born on Friday. Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations.
You want your tablet? You have to go
That's
upstairs.
so cool.
So.
Did you see that Homestead Nana had the 10th
awesome! 10th.
great grandchild?
That's
on
awesome.
Friday.
Congratulations.
That's always fun. New babies are so much
new
fun.
babies are the best.
They just want to snuggle. They get older and they don't want to snuggle anymore.
Well, they want to snuggle with mommy. They never want to snuggle with daddy.
Kinda. But even Pat's at that age where he doesn't just want to cuddle anymore.
That's true. He's on the go. He's on the go from the second he gets up.
Do not tie that man down. Diane is here as well.
Welcome, Diane. Okay, so land maintenance pain. So that's something I was feeling a little stressed about today. I was looking at that field and seeing the grass growing and being like, but we can't get anything until the barn's ready. And the barn can't be ready until I get all that stuff moved. But I can't move that stuff if it keeps raining. So it just was like a domino effect. Bonnie says, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, if you think about it, give us a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithm. We appreciate it. Prep for Eternity is expecting our second grandchild on Thursday. Well, exciting spring all around. So, congratulations.
That is.
So, this is the first time in a long time somebody's not having a baby.
Not
anytime soon. Yeah. So we've been having cousins and
we had a lot of babies like boom, boom, boom,
in a
all
few years.
at once. Yeah. So yeah, we got a little space here.
So
it's funny. Like we had we had 3 of them that were really close or fairly close in age. And even with 3 babies to pass around, I didn't feel like I got to hold anybody because there's too many adults that all wanted to see them. Yeah. You have to, in our family, you almost have to like fight to be able to hold a baby and be like, hey, it's my turn. We have so many people now that if we just have one baby, it's like you're gonna have to go a couple of family gatherings before you're gonna get to hold that baby, probably. Hello, Allison. Thanks for joining us.
But even with all that, so the raised bed, they're 3/4 planted. So one is fully planted and one is half planted. There's a couple things that still have to go in there, but it's not quite the right time of year. But the peas are starting to sprout and the onions are getting nice and tall, so that feels good. And the spinach and the lettuce are sprouting, so that feels good. So, do you need help, Mikey? You have your last thing right here. So, somebody may have stalled a little bit on their school today and is still doing school this evening. So lessons have been learned today. But that feels good. It's easy to get really overwhelmed and just like I'm never gonna get this all done. Kind of take a minute and step back and look at the things that I have accomplished. And that they are going somewhere. And we have our potatoes are all planted and our carrots are planted. I'm using grow bags this year for those. So we are making progress. It's just still so much to do. And then having to take 3 hours today to mow the lawn when I could have been moving manure because it's actually a nice day.
It always feels like spring 2 goes from like, oh man, it's too cold and it's too rainy. And so you have this list. And then all of a sudden it's like nice.
Yeah.
And then it almost feels like you're behind because it goes from nasty weather to nice weather. Although I think it is supposed to rain tomorrow too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, tomorrow's our busy day. We've got therapy, we've got homeschool co-op, we've got gymnastics, and we have dance. So nothing will be getting done besides driving places tomorrow. So
Aunt Holly says you're farther along on your garden than I am.
Yeah, and I know there's still time. Like I know the last frost date isn't until the first week of May or the last week of April. But I just know, like if I don't have the no-till garden completely set up by then. Like it's gonna be too late because it's too much work. So oh my gosh, I started on that 2.5 months ago. But when you only can like set out an hour at a time or 2 hours at a time, and during that hour you're still responsible for 6 other little people who constantly need things. Like I'll set up part 2 hours and I only get 4 wheelbarrows moved because you have to keep stopping. So.
Yeah, it's not like you have just a straight 12 hours.
Yeah, I can't just take a Saturday and go outside and work on it. Like it just doesn't happen. So next year everything will be so much easier because you'll actually have days when you're home.
It's very true. I'll probably have 4 days off a week next year, which would be
great.
That'll be crazy.
So it'll be Teal House Farm with all the stuff going on because we'll have time to do things.
Yep. It'll be lots of fun.
So, we had a goose we thought was sitting on eggs. I mean, she was in there pretty determinedly for like a week, but she gave it up. And so, I'm really disappointed about that because I was like,
I feel like it was longer than that. It was like 10 days, maybe 2 weeks.
But she didn't stay long enough. We don't have an incubator for goose eggs, so. But that was kind of disappointing. Like, I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, it would have been really, really nice to have her hatch those out for us. It would have been pretty cool.
They don't want us going anywhere near the nest, though. You know, those ain't going to hatch. So now we got a bunch of eggs in the middle of the field I can't get to, so.
Holler Girl says, remember that kids grow fast, the garden can wait. And Diane says, we don't plant until the second week of May.
Yeah. I know they grow up fast. We do a lot together. I mean, they're home all day. But I also need to feed all these kids. And if I don't grow food, I have to buy food. And in order to make enough money to buy more food than when I grow, then I have to go to work. And then I'm not with my kids. And it's
just a vicious
cycle. So it's whether or not I want to do the labor at home or whether I want to go do the labor somewhere else to make the money to bring home. Mm-hmm. So every penny makes a difference. Everything grown, everything dried outside on the line. every non-disposable product that we can use over and over and over again is something that allows me to be able to stay home.
So once you get your no-till garden set up, what's your next thing you're gonna look at?
My next project?
Doing? Yeah.
Oh, I haven't told you about this one.
Oh.
See, Sam here's gonna have like a month off between school and practicum, aren't you, Sammy?
No.
So we've been, the last year, I'd say, maybe a year and a half, we've been working on moving everything systematically closer to the house, yes?
That's true.
So, like, the chickens and the ducks and the geese are all right there, right outside the front door now. There's a trampoline. The garden is now just 2 steps outside the mudroom. Everything's real close. I want to move the kids' play area. They have, like, a swing set and stuff. Mm-hmm. I want to move it in the fence where the old garden was so that I can shut the door. And Patty the Batty cannot get out and run away when I'm working in the garden.
That fence is so broken and nasty.
But it won't keep anything else, but it'll keep him in. So this is my plan. And then everything is along that side of the house.
Yeah, I do understand moving it over there, but we need a new play place too. That thing is falling apart.
It is falling apart.
Like,
I mean, swing sets. We get a little swing set, something that expensive, and get him a little splashy pool or a water table, put it in there. I even thought, I probably won't do this, but I even thought, like, maybe we'll get, Sam's Club has big rolls of AstroTurf. I was like, I'll put that inside the fence, and then we don't have to worry about how we're going to mow in there, because nothing will grow.
Well, that's true, too.
And then I don't have to worry about the pool getting all, like, those splashy pools getting all muddy all the time, because they always get out and get their feet muddy and then get back in, because it's AstroTurf.
That's true.
This is my plan.
We have to get it really level on there, though, for all that, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sandy says, "Oh, my royal palm turkey just started setting our clutch of eggs today. Woohoo! My first."
She sits for you.
That's awesome. Laura, we've wanted turkeys for a long time, and I think the royal palm turkeys are really pretty. So I hope that works out for you. Katie says, "I've been so amazed watching your videos of you laying down cardboard and it actually staying. It would be in the next county by morning here."
It gets pretty windy here too, but what I've done as I systematically laid it is I then dumped 1 wheelbarrow full of compost on top to weigh it down, or I used logs to weigh it down. Mm-hmm. So it's still all kind of where it's supposed to be, but it's all weighed down. It's not just, it doesn't just stay.
Oh, someone had a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, but I know, you have to kind of get it all laid down before you can start dumping on top, because you really got to smother that grass. So.
Let's see.
Debbie says, if you work, you have to pay childcare. Yes, and
Very
living
expensive.
really rurally, even if I got a really good paying job and could afford childcare, I don't think I would be able to find childcare. Like, there just aren't options. And because that's something we've looked at briefly before. I'm trying to figure things out with Sam going back to school. There aren't choices, and there aren't jobs that pay enough, even if there were choices. So the best solution is just to live as absolutely frugally as possible and get Sam through school, which is kind of what we're doing. So.
Dan says, "I see some chores coming up for Sam."
Yeah,
always.
There's always chores.
Always chores.
I'm impressed though. I feel like even though you've been at school, like, you've gotten quite a few projects done.
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
So.
Meadowbrook says, "Love watching you guys. How did you like the goat? Sam, are you going into a specialized nursing? Sorry to say, but that white pot on the top shelf is going to fall, but maybe not. Is it a... Oh.
No, I know what you... Yeah, it does kind of look like...
dehydrator?
It kind of looks like it's leaning.
It does look like it's leaning. I promise in person...
It's not that bad.
It doesn't look
pretty
that
exaggerated
bad.
On this.
I think it's because the camera's like angled up at it. It does look like it's like half off. But it... it's on there really good.
It's good on there.
Thank you for letting us know, though. Let's see. How do you like the goat? Our goat has been okay. I felt like it's a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say tough or stringy maybe. Yeah.
But we know she was not a meat goat. She was a dairy goat. Flavor-wise, though, I mean, we liked it. Mm-hmm. I feel like I like the lamb better than the goat, but I don't not like the goat. I'll say that. Yeah. We had some lamb for dinner tonight in a stir fry, and it was pretty good.
Let's see. Oh, and you said, am I going into specialized nursing? I'm not 100% sure. I've got my practicum coming up in, I guess, June, basically the month June and July. I'll be in practicum, and I asked to sign up for labor and delivery, NICU, or PICU. So we'll see. Those are kind of the ways like the spots I'm looking at, but I guess it all just kind of depends.
Katie says that she likes the kid yard idea. I think it would work good.
Actually, I do like that idea too.
And Debbie says, hi, Goobs. So here's a question for everybody who's a mom out there. Goobies has the curlies of hair, but they're always like, it's always a hot mess. And so I've been thinking like maybe I need some sort of curly hair product so that she can have like the Shirley Temple like ringlets and it's not woof all the time. So I'd love any recommendations people have. Most thing I worry about with little kid, like I don't want her getting something in her eyes. But something to keep her curls nice because they look super cute when she's just, all washed and clean, but then we step outside in the humidity and it's crazy town, isn't it, Boobs? Crazy town.
Do you like watching yourself on camera, Isla? You're silly.
Okay, so that's my project.
So the kid yard. The kid yard.
Yeah,
actually, like that. That would be pretty cool. If we look really hard too, we might be able to find like some new fence or something we can put up that might not be crazy expensive or take 5 days. Although if I have a whole month off,
I know it doesn't look that nice, but it serves its purpose, and that's all that I care about at this point. So.
Diane says our daughter is an NP in the NICU and loves it. Only downfall, she works a 24-hour shift. I don't know. I think I would like that. Yeah, we have talked about that before.
That we prefer a 24-hour shift almost.
Like our idea is just kind of like however we can like knock out work and then come back to the family. So I'm sure she has to work probably at least one other shift other than that, or maybe not. It depends how. I guess some of that really depends how your work week is lined up, but I don't know. Like we've said before, the nice thing about nursing is there's like so many options, whether you want to work at a hospital or outpatient. There's so many different kinds of shifts, so we have a ton of options. So that's really, really nice.
Well, the nice thing too with nursing is you can change your mind. Like if you're like, I just don't like these night shifts. I want to work in a surgical center during the day where it's regular hours. Like you can do that. And that's what's really nice. You're not
for sure.
boxed.
Tara is here. Thanks for hopping on.
You're welcome, Tara. Ooh, you okay?
You okay? Goodness.
Tara just finished building her raised beds. She sent me a picture. They look great.
Ooh.
So, Diane says she has 2 littles.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be tough to be away.
That's true.
Especially as mom. Like, I know it's when you're mom, you're not there for bedtimes or cuddles or whatever. That's hard.
We had actually talked, like when we were thinking about sending me to nursing school, we had a long conversation about who we should send, whether Laura should go back to nursing school or whether it should be me. And ultimately we decided me, just because the kids are so little right now, but you might go back to school in the future when the kids are a little bit older. So
yeah.
Let's see. Chris says my girls had those curls when they were younger, but they went away with their first haircuts. Try a simple headband just to keep it out of her face and let those curls grow. And Diane says, yes, for sure, lots of options.
And we also like that you can live like anywhere and seems like, and have job options too. Like it's very universal. Living out here in the middle of nowhere, like you would even have choices.
Yep,
so
for sure.
That's one of the big draws. So
you're cute, Goobs.
Just on a blank page, but you have to answer the questions that are on the page in the book. Just on a blank page in there. So.
Mama, I want my tablet.
Okay, go use your tablet. Bye-bye. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Mom, I need help.
Here you go. Take it upstairs, okay? Bye.
See you later.
Excuse me. Let's see what else.
I don't know if there's any projects I want to accomplish during my break. I mean, there's always something.
Yeah,
we'll find something. This farm has an endless amount of projects for sure. the honeydew list is ever expanding. What else? What else are we going to talk about?
I don't know. I got to find me some sheep.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
We got, I mean, I feel like that's probably the only thing we don't have. Like, as far as things that we need to purchase to be ready for the gardening animal year, I think just the sheep. We've done everything else.
Really tried to be chicks.
Yeah, really tried to be systematic about getting things so it wasn't such a large expense at one time, because that's something that's gotten us before too. Like,
yeah, and we're just keeping things a little more simple this year. Yeah. Like next year, if we want to really get into stuff, as far as the animal side goes, we can go a little crazy next year if we want to. But we just want to try and keeping it simple. Still keep it simple.
It's kind of me managing most of it right now. So the girls still help with the chickens.
Yeah, we're with the little chicks we have. We're trying to have the two older girls take turns with managing them.
They're doing a good job.
Giving them new bedding, and I mean, it's pretty easy. We only have 6 of them, so that's a pretty easy chore. But it's good for them. It's a good thing for them to learn. We got little Buff Orpington.
Yeah, we've had those before. Good egg layer. I have so many duck eggs still. They keep coming.
Yeah, I like the Buff Orpingtons too, because they're usually a pretty chill breed and they're really gentle. So if you've got kids and you're looking for chicks, Buff Orpingtons are a good breed. They're pretty.
Let's see. Tracy says, "Blessings, so good to see you. Welcome." And Chris says, "Is watching older videos lately. I found Ivy Joe's kitchen and doing some videos showcase their talents. Maybe." The girls, oh my gosh, Ivy wants her own YouTube channel.
Oh, I think they both
so badly, but they don't need to be creating and managing content, and I don't need to be creating and managing more content. But they would love to. We might do more episodes. They love to help. They do. Micah's learning how to sew. Ivy's always playing her ukulele or making something. So, I don't know if we'll have more Ivy Joe's Kitchen. That was we did those, my dad helped with those because we were in the hospital with Annie because she had her surgery. Right. And so he helped Ivy make a couple little short videos so that we could have something to post while we were trying to get out of the hospital. So Tracy says, "Hey, I put up mushrooms last week. First time. Thanks for teaching me how." You're welcome. So mushrooms are fun to can. And so are onions and peppers. That's a new one. I don't know if I'm doing any canning this week. I might make some more pickled onions this week. That's one thing I canned on a whim. And I was like, I don't know if I'll really use them. And they are so good on like sandwiches, hamburgers, throwing them in my chicken salad. They're good. And so I went through them really fast. I think I'm going to make some more.
Rhonda says, "Hello from North Texas. Do you raise meat birds?" We have in the past. We're not right now. Laura does want to raise some this summer, so we might end up doing that. But we have in the past. I can't remember the most that we raised was maybe like 20 or 30 at a time. But yeah, we've done it in the past. They're super, super easy. I mean, it just takes 6 weeks, so that's like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had pretty good success with them. My only mistake, I think the first time, was letting them grow like a week or two late, and they were too big.
Tough.
Yeah,
they weren't horrible, but you got to pay attention to that timing. Holly says, "With the bad weather supposedly moving in tomorrow night, you all stay safe next week." You too. This is our least favorite time of year because we have several little ones that are terrified of thunderstorms, and so whenever spring thunder is coming, we know nobody is going to be sleeping because everybody's going to be crying. So I'm not really looking forward to that. Yeah, but it'll be fine.
Tracy says, "I did mandarin oranges too."
That's fun.
That's cool.
I was just thinking about doing them. I've never done mandarin oranges. I've seen people do them before, but I saw them. They were really cheap at Sam's Club, and I almost bought like 2 extra bags. Be like, I'm gonna try canning them. But I wasn't sure because I've heard people say if you are not just like absolutely nitpicky particular about getting every single piece of like white off the orange, that they get really like bitter and sour tasting.
Really?
And I didn't want to do all this work and have them be bad. So be interested in how you feel they did. So
Holler Girl says, "Pinto beans are great to can. It is a great fast food."
Yes, we did pinto beans. I do pinto beans. I do Great Northern beans. I do black beans. I do chili beans. Beans are pre-canned beans from the store are such a money. I never realized this before, right? Beans are already cheap and canned beans are already kind of cheap, but it's such a money waste compared to canning them yourself, because if you buy a big bag of beans and can it yourself, it costs you like 5 cents a pint jar. If you think about a pint's worth of canned beans at the store, it's probably $1.10, $1.20. So, tenfold
over the course of a year,
more expensive over the course of the year. Like, you're gonna save lots of money. It's totally worth the effort.
Holly says, "I'll head to the basement." That's what we do.
Safe.
We call it the dungeon.
Yeah, we don't have a nice basement. Rhonda says, "I love canning beans and other veggies. After seeing you can onions, bell peppers, plan to can those as well." Yes, those are really handy to have on the shelf. It really does. I do need to can more hamburger stew. That's one of our favorite. But I've been waiting to find cheaper hamburger. It's been really expensive. And we usually buy a cow from a friend, or a quarter cow from a friend. But because we butchered the goat and the sheep this year, I don't have room for a quarter cow. I just want the hamburger and some, but it was like $20 at Sam's Club to get like 5 pounds of hamburger. And I was like, there's no way. Like, I can't spend that much. So
Tracy says, "Laura, with the simple syrup, they turned out great. I wasn't precise on the white stuff, and they still turned out
well,
good."
Tracy may have induced me to give it a try.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
cool.
cool.
The girls and Pat love like the mandarin oranges in the can or in the little cups.
They're a good snack for a little person.
They're a great snack for a little person. And so I was thinking about canning my own when the oranges are on sale. So I probably will have to do that for them. Holler Girl says they taste better too. I hate the tin can taste. All right. Well, you guys have encouraged me to try. I'm going to go back to Sam's Club this week and see if they're still on sale. We were just there a few days ago. So get a whole bunch and peel them and try it and see what happens.
Yep. I think that's true with any kind of canning. Like, I think they taste pretty good, like in the jars compared to cans that you might get from the store.
Yeah, it doesn't have that, like I said, the tinny taste because they're canned in glass. So, let's see. Tracy says 9 pounds of oranges will give you 10 pints. Perfect. Thank you. I think the oranges come in 5-pound bags. Maybe it's 3-pound bags. I'll figure it out. I'll do the math in the store. That's the hard. I always buy. Because I'm always like, I'll figure out when I get to the store. And then I got 6 kids, and you're trying to do math while everyone's like, Mom.
And
then you just grab, like, bags and figure it out when you get home. So, they are really good. They are very good in stores. I would say I do not have any issues or worries about taking 6 kids in a store. Like, they do fine.
No, your only complaint
They do talk a lot. Like, they're not noisy, like, loud and obnoxious to guests, but they talk amongst themselves. And so it's like carrying a school bus of children with you everywhere you go.
No, you said your main complaint is people stopping you to talk. You said, like, Laura takes the kids shopping with her a lot. I'm usually not there with them. She's like almost every aisle we go down.
I get stopped.
In a big store like a Walmart or something, you gotta have somebody that stops and like, are these all yours?
I don't mind if somebody just wants to say, oh, beautiful family, or wow, it's a lot of kids, and you keep walking. But like I get just genuinely, like, people stand in my path to talk to me a lot, and I'm like, I'm just trying to make it through the store before somebody is too tired and starts crying. Like, I don't want to stop and chit chat every aisle with strangers about, are they all mine, or is this a daycare, or oh, you finally had that boy, like, we need to keep moving a steady pace. If we stop moving, that's when people start wandering away from the cart, and so the cart is always moving in the store.
You give them time to think, they'll start grabbing stuff off the shelves.
You can use pectinase enzyme to remove the pith from the citrus by soaking them. I'm trying to get. Where do you find that? Can I just find that at Walmart, or do I have to, like, order that? Be curious.
That's from Herb Earth.
I'm all for anything that makes life simpler, so
yeah, that'd be interesting.
An easy step.
I'm sure if you
Googled it.
You could probably
Google.
Find it. Yeah, I don't know if that you'd have to buy that somewhere special or.
Yeah, I think they have. Walmart has a fairly decent canning section. Okay, she bought it on Amazon. Okay. So, Homestead, what Nana is here. Welcome. Oh, thank you for joining the Teal House Farm members.
Yes, thank you. Nana. That's awesome.
Appreciate it. If we can't see some of the levels, like it says to send us your address, depending, so we can send you a mug. So if that was one of the instructions, make sure you email us your address so we can send you a mug.
We do have Amazon. We have Amazon Prime out here, but it's funny because we don't have the whatever it is, 2-day shipping or 3-day. It's more like 5-day shipping out here.
2-day Prime member shipping. It takes 5 or 6 days or something. But the weird thing is, if I mail something to your parents, who I feel like also kind of live in the middle of nowhere, they can get it. Like, they can get same day stuff. So I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, my parents do live in a little town though, and we don't. So I don't know if that's the difference. We also, what was I gonna say about Amazon? Oh, our Amazon delivery, like, it usually comes UPS. Mm-hmm. And nowadays our UPS comes in the afternoon, but it used to be UPS would not come till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, which maybe that's normal for UPS now, but I had never seen that.
His last stop.
We were his last stop, but that was kind of crazy to have the UPS man knocking on your door at like 9 o'clock at night. I kind of felt bad for him a little bit, but he was always in a good mood because we were his last stop. Like, he was ready to go home.
So. The FedEx man got chased by a goat once that jumped over the fence. And so after that, still to this day, I feel like he pulls up as far the driveway as he can and, like, chucks things out the window because he's afraid a goat's going to come around the corner and get him. Meadowbrook says, forgot to say hello from Minnesota in a blizzard. Well, stay safe.
I was reading about that.
Do you still make feed sack bags anymore? Meredith, the farm wife, showed one of your bags neat. Sometimes. It just depends if I need them. So I have, like, 4 or 5 in the trunk of my car that I use for groceries. I actually saved a dog food bag because it's smaller, and I was going to make a mini bag for, like, if I just need to take a few things somewhere. So I'm going to do that. I just make them if I need them or if I have somebody who asks for one. I know people say I should make them and sell them. I just don't feel like my sewing is neat enough. Mm. Maybe when the kids are older and I have more, like, concentrated time to make things right. But at this point in my life, it's just about making things that work, and it's not about pretty. And they work great, even if they aren't pretty, so.
Tara says, my dad delivered for FedEx for 30 years, and I don't think he ever encountered a goat. So. Well, this goat, she would get, I wouldn't say aggressive. I guess you could say aggressive. When she was cycling, when she was hormonal, she would jump the fence and come after you. And so she went after the FedEx man one time. I bet it's a good story for him to tell. Yeah. Or maybe he doesn't tell anyone that story. Maybe that's embarrassing. I don't know. She never hurt anybody.
No, but I mean, it's a big goat. These aren't small goats. It's a full-size dairy goat.
If you're not used to being around farm animals, it was probably terrifying. So, sorry, Mr. FedEx man.
Yeah. That was fun. Okay. Tracy, so we talked a little bit about school earlier, but anything else you want to say about how school's going?
Nope, it's going well. I don't feel like I have too much to, like, in past terms, I feel like I had more to talk about because we had 2 really intense classes at once. And this term I have, like, one kind of intense class, and then the second class is pretty easy. So right now school isn't nearly as stressful as it has been.
He's still working really hard, but I feel like you feel like it feels manageable. Where last term it felt unmanageable, and you didn't sleep because all you did was work and study.
Yeah, I still have a weekly test. Like Tuesday morning is our test day, and I'm still nervous about that. I don't think I'll ever get over that. But hopefully, since it's just one test instead of like 2 or 3 in a day, it won't be as bad. Let's see. In our area, UPS delivers late here. However, they have never knocked on our door. We find packages in random places.
They don't need to knock on our door because if the UPS or the FedEx truck comes up, our kids, I mean, they got like the 6th sense, and suddenly everyone's running through the house. Mom, the package man's here, because they all think it's for them or whatever. The UPS man can't even get out of his car before my kids are like yelling out the door at him. Is it a big one? So,
I feel like they would like invite him into the house, like without checking with anybody too. Like they love the UPS man.
So we always know when the UPS man is here. I would say the best thing we ever did. We moved to this house. And it has no doorbell, and we never installed a doorbell. It's like the best parenting decision ever, because when we lived in town, the UPS man would always come during nap time. He always rang the doorbell and would wake up the kids, and so that is not an option here.
You just gotta knock on the door.
Don't need a doorbell. So, anything else for the good of the order? Next week is Easter. Even though Easter Sunday, we're gonna take the week off. Mm-hmm. So no live stream Easter Monday. So we hope everybody has a wonderful Easter. So Tracy says, your kids are so funny, they make me laugh. They make me laugh too sometimes. And sometimes they drive me a little crazy. So
They keep us going, that's
they
for
do.
sure.
Keep us on our toes.
Yep, that'll be good. Easter week,
Everybody's
Easter weekend.
got their Easter dresses. So
They did.
Live Your Truth TV, Live Y'all's channel, I just recently made homemade soaps. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Soap is something I've done a few times. It just takes too much concentrated time in math. It's just not a practical activity for me right now.
I feel like some of those homemade soap videos were some of our first, weren't they?
Yeah.
Kind of. Like, those were a long time ago.
Let's see. Laura, did you ever find a successful onion cutting hack that would work really towards those stores? Oh, we got more coming, so I will leave you on your toes because we got some great suggestions from people. Like, people said that Grandma used to hold bread between her lips or a bowl of water in front of her. Got some great ones. I'm going to can some pickled onions and try the rest of them this week, so we'll see.
Stay tuned.
The only one that I know so far that works is wearing goggles, which is obvious that I do sometimes, but have not found an old wives' tale one that works. So,
let's see. Diane says, Happy Easter to all. Rhonda says, I love seeing how you manage your home, kids, and gardening. I had 3 and was overwhelmed sometimes. I didn't get near as much accomplished as you do. You do knock it out.
I
That's
do
for sure.
sometimes. Yeah.
You know what really helped? Having your heart...
Having my heart fixed?
Ablation,
Yeah, oh my gosh. I couldn't do anything before. I could not do it. I couldn't, like, physical labor was too hard for my body.
You really pick up the pace once you had that surgery. You're like the Energizer Bunny now.
I have found, back when I only had a couple kids, I felt like everything I did it around what the kids needed. And so, like, I just never had any time to do anything I wanted to do because it was all about the kids. And now, like, we have our schedule, like we do our school and play time with the kids and stuff, but in the afternoons is typically when I do my work, and I just I just very matter-of-factly all right, I'm going to work in the garden. You can either help me or you can play on the trampoline or the swing set.
Right.
Those are your options. It's not about what you want to do. Like, those are your choices. And that, I just feel like, then the kids are like, oh, okay, that's what we're going to do. Where before I was just waiting for that opportunity for them to be busy enough for me to sneak away. Like, it's never going to happen. So
yeah.
I don't know that that's useful parenting advice, but I found that when I'm just very matter-of-factly determined, that's just how it rolls, and they kind of know that. And, Pat's he's 1.5, so he doesn't really understand that. So we have a pack and play, and I don't like saying trained to the pack and play, but he kind of is. He knows that you don't crawl out, that if he's put in there, he's got to stay in there, and he plays happily in there.
He's a pretty contented baby.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about him wandering off. So
EW says, great, looking forward to those, the little shorts, our onion shorts. Holler Girl, I missed it.
Sorry, Holler Girl.
Give us just a second.
Says,
Tractor Supply marks their chicks down the day before Easter. I'm going to get some. It has been hit and miss this year with the chicks. So there's a tip for you if you're looking to buy some chicks.
Here, Tracy, somebody asked about pickled onions, and I do have a video, so I'm going to grab that real quick so that you can pickle your onions. They're really good. They're not, excuse me, this is not a healthy pickled onion. This is a sweet pickled onion, but they're sweet and kind of tangy, and I put them on everything that you would ever put relish on, and they're really good. So
give you a copy and paste.
That's the video of the onions. Let's see.
Let's see what else. Debbie says...
And it's a water bath canning video. You do not need a pressure canner for the pickled onions.
Perfect. Let's see. Debbie says, you too, happy Easter. Yes, agree, the kids are funny. Oh, and Tracy was asking about the onions. EW says, having a heart that works properly is kind of important. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And that was one of those things, I really needed to advocate for myself better, and I didn't, and that's kind of my fault. Because I'd known for a long time there was a problem, and, told, my midwife or my doctor, I was like, I feel like my heart beats funny sometimes, and they would be like, oh, when you're pregnant, your heart will beat faster than usual, and things like that, and I should have been more aggressive, been like, no, something is really weird. Sorry, I forgot to say that we can make the live. Yeah, I have to do it before we finish the live, so I'm doing that real fast. So it should have been fixed long before it was fixed, but I didn't advocate for myself until it was a really big problem and I was in the hospital, and it shouldn't have gotten that far. So that I think
I think part of the problem too was it was really hit or miss.
Replay. Okay.
Okay, you got it?
Got it.
It was really hit or miss there at the beginning, where it wasn't like consistent, and then towards the end, it was like happening all the time, like much more consistent. Let's see. Tara says, Sean said I need to leave one of my beds empty and use it for no gardening.
It's funny,
like
but
that.
we told the kids it was a boat. One of them, before they were filled, I left one of them and I put the little guys in there. I was like, oh, look, this is your boat. And they pretended to be, in a ship.
It's
for
true.
A little bit, kept it contained.
Give a kid like a pile of dirt and they'll be happy all day.
Or
mud or whatever.
If we could keep ordering large things too, like that bathtub came in a huge box and they played in that box for like 4 hours the other day. It was a house, and then it was a boat, and then it was a castle, and they were all so like busy. I got so much done that morning because they were having so much fun with that box. So we need to order something else large. I don't really care what it is.
I'm sure if we went to like a store in town that had big boxes and was like, hey, can we grab a couple of those?
We need some big boxes.
They'd probably give them to us. Some of those like you're not going to use for moving or anything. They're so big, but
Tracy, you're welcome. Yeah, it's a good recipe. So yeah.
All right, you ready to call it?
Yeah, we gotta call it. Sam's gonna do some studying, and I want to take a shower because I mowed and worked in the garden a lot today, and it was sweaty and hot. So everybody stay safe with the storms if you're in the storm's path for tomorrow. And if you're out near us, enjoy a very beautiful day tomorrow, and make sure to water your garden.
Well, it's going to rain all day tomorrow, supposedly.
Oh, that's right. Never mind, don't water your garden.
It's going to be hot, though, so...
Tracy says, my dad was a plumber. Hot water heater boxes are fun.
Oh,
Or refrigerator boxes.
Yeah.
All right, you all. Have a very happy Easter. Again, we won't be live next week. We'll try to put up a reminder, but we will be live the week after. So.
All right, everybody take care. Have a safe week. Thanks
Bye.
for joining us.